And we're live. Hello, and thanks for tuning in. This is the SuperBoss Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Harrison Ngo, and I'm joined by Ian Eatwell
Hey.
and Luc Tran.
Hello, hello.
And here we talk about what's going on in the nerd world, ranging from movies to comics to video games. If you're a new listener, we start talking about you know what? We just talk about what we've been up to lately. It's a long day. And anything cool we've heard. And then that's right before we jump into the main topic, which for today, it's kind of more of a laid back one. We just kind of talk about, since with the COVID, everyone's still stuck inside. I thought it'd be cool to just share what we've been, what things we could watch versus what we've been playing. Mostly anime, maybe on this one. I don't remember, but don't worry about it. That's the topic. But anyway, what's up with you guys? What have you been up to? Huh?
Man.
I can't remember when. I think I started last week, but I've been playing a lot of RuneScape, which is like super throwback because I'm playing old school RuneScape. So super throwback.
Actually followed through.
Yeah, but I was joking with our editor before. I think it was our editor. I was joking with someone before. Oh no, wait, no, it was you, Harrison. Never mind.
Oh.
But it's nice because so I'm playing. I have dual monitor setup, so I'm playing RuneScape on one monitor, and I'm listening to lectures and stuff on the other side.
Hell yeah.
And so I get to feel like I'm being really productive while I'm just sitting there clicking on stuff, and it's really nice. Because I'm watching a lot of stuff that I've been putting off for a while. One of my favorite authors, Brandon Sanderson, has a YouTube series. So I've been watching a lot of his lectures while I'm just playing games. So that's been consuming most of my time, honestly, is just playing RuneScape and just going through a bunch of old lectures that I've been wanting to watch.
I know we talked about it last time, but how is it coming back to it now? RuneScape. Is it the same exact thing, or is it just kind of?
So, I guess it's a little different because I think my last experience with RuneScape before I've been playing now was I think I was a member, and so I'm only in the free to play worlds right now. So, it's funny to me because now that I'm way older and I actually understand how to use the internet, everything I'm doing now is way more efficient than what I used to do when I was leveling stuff.
Right.
And it's just funny to laugh at looking back because I was I would do the stupidest things because this guy's super hard, he's the same exact level as me, this random monster, so I should fight him because he gives the most experience. And I would kill that enemy in 2 minutes, waste a bunch of food, and be like, wow, I got so much experience. And now I'm just mindlessly grinding really weak monsters because it's super efficient. The efficiency factor, I think, is really funny.
That's hilarious.
Because I'm already 44.
Jeez.
I actually know how to level now. I have almost all the quests done already. And I want to say I have 500k in my bank already. But I got really lucky because one of my favorite things I used to do in RuneScape were the treasure trails or the clue scrolls. And free-to-play players can do beginner level ones. And I got 2 pretty expensive items, so that did jumpstart my bank. But nice. Yeah, it's 80% just I'm just nostalgia. It's super fun nostalgia just to go back and be like, oh yeah, I still remember all these things. I remember all the songs. I remember where everything is. I can even remember how to do some of the quests. It's just really fun to go back and play.
Did they add any other quests, or is it just it's staying classic and it's?
No, it's the free to play is still very much probably what everybody remembers of RuneScape.
Okay, cool.
You have Lumbridge, awesome. Varrock, Falador, Barbarian Village, Edgeville.
That's right, because
the main wilderness, bits of Alcarid.
Yeah, the membership was stuff that unlocks a lot of other stuff. Okay.
Yeah. I know they're I think at some point I do want to switch to membership. Probably they have an in-game way to get it, but membership is definitely where everything is different because they're way more quests to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't realize because this all kind of started because one of the streamers I like to watch, he plays RuneScape on a separate account at night, and he was playing, and that's why I started playing RuneScape again. I was like, yeah, I'll play RuneScape while I watch him play RuneScape. But they have like the Iron Man system, which I'm really curious to try. They basically have raids now, which I think is really cool.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how big they are, but there are 2 dedicated like raid type things you can do in the game.
Huh.
But for now, I'm just doing free to play, just having a lot of fun, just going through my childhood nostalgia.
Awesome.
What are you up to, Harrison?
Man, it's so nice to be done with school, because literally the night after, I was like, you know what? I'll try to play a game I haven't finished in a while. So I decided to pop in Celeste, and I didn't realize how close I was to finishing the game. So I was just spending, what was it? I started like 6 p.m. and I spent like up till like 2 a.m. just trying to finish the rest of it. And it was like, that game's so good. Wait, have you guys played? I know Ian hasn't, but have you played it, Luke?
I've played Celeste. I never beat the game, but I've played it and I know the overall story beats of it.
Okay, so like the last part, the last part essentially just has you go through snippets of like the previous levels, and because I was like discording with my girlfriend, and she was like, because she was trying to do some work, but in the background she probably just heard me say like, son of a fucking like, you'd see, if you could see the screen, you see the death screen, like it would just black out consistently for a good bit because I just kept trying to redo this part. And then finally it's such a good game. In that, like, I don't know, it's just a solid platformer, right? It's just so, like, the mechanics are so basic, but like the maps themselves, the puzzles themselves are like agonizing, but it's like definitely doable. And so when I finished, I was like, oh, I finished the game, that's cool. And then of course there's the epilogue part, and they're like, oh, in order to unlock this, you have to have these things that you should have found, you technically could have found.
Yeah, like collecting the
levels.
cherries
like,
and stuff.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, son of a fucking bitch. I just played this game for how long? And
Are you gonna go back and get all the cherries?
I'm like, is it cherries or oh, it's strawberries. Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
sorry, strawberries.
No. No, I think I should probably work on some other things, but I might go back. It's just like it's just a matter of like how much do I want to see the epilogue like organically versus just like looking online, you know? And I don't know. Cause I think, and then at this point, I probably do have to look up and see like what did I miss, right? Because I've seen certain things that like, so it's not only just that, but there's also hearts that pop up. But they're like, I say hearts because I don't know if they take different forms, because they like from the just skimming on the internet, I've noticed like, oh, I've seen some of these things pop up. I just didn't know what they were, right? So I don't know. I guess maybe we'll see. Mainly that's like the big game I played and finished, so I felt pretty accomplished with that. Now it's just a matter of like figuring out what I want to play next, because I feel like, you know, being in school for so long, I've lost so much time on certain things. I'm like, oh, what do I play next? What next in my backlog am I gonna hit?
You just have too many choices now.
I have too many choices, but it's okay. I have time. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it. Haven't really played it. I mean, go-to's just Destiny with the guys, but that's nothing new. I think really just like excited for like trying out Final Fantasy next week. Technically, we could try it now, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
The big update is late.
Yeah, so figured I might as well just wait till next week and just chill and do stuff in the meantime.
Before we get into an MMO grind.
Yeah, because it's legitimate one. What about you, Ian? What have you been up to?
Oh,
Oh,
a lot of the same.
No, that's why I asked the question.
Right. Lot of Stardew Valley, to be honest. That's
I've noticed.
been about it. Yeah, man.
How far are you? Because last time I think you said you were close to a year.
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
I'm year 2 in the summer now. I found the way. I found
You found the way.
coffee.
Oh god.
Coffee beans are the way to go. I started
Oh,
off with like
I thought you meant
Oh,
like, oh, I just sit and I just drink coffee and play,
yeah.
and then 4 hours pass.
That's what
no.
I thought too.
I mean that probably happens at some point. But no. So I started off with somehow getting like 3 random coffee beans, and I didn't realize that the plant. So some of the plants that you can plant and farm are ones that'll like. Some of them are just like one-offs. Like you plant it, you grow it, you harvest it, you sell it, and it's gone. But some of them grow on like vines or trellises and shit. So the thing will stay, and you can just harvest the fruit from it, and it'll continue to produce stuff. And so I was like, that's where the efficiency's at, right? Like that's where the money is. And I didn't realize coffee beans were like that. So I finally got to plant some because they're only a I think they're a spring and summer crop. So I got to plant some when the new year rolled around in spring. And it just become crazy. And I was like, oh wow, I'm getting like 3, 4, 5 like coffee beans per harvest from these plants. But they don't sell for a lot, right? And so then I got into the kegs. I've started to get like more. I kind of ignored the crafting for a lot of it, but now I've been like getting into more of the crafting stuff. And so you can make coffee with the beans, and those sell for buckets of money. It's like 150 gold per cup of coffee. So I have like almost exclusively been making coffee. I'm a coffee farmer.
Coffee farmer. You've made it.
What are the big money sinks in the game? Like I assume upgrading your farm is a lot of money, but is there anything else that?
There's a lot, yeah. So upgrading your house is the farm basically. That's a lot of money. Because it starts off. I think the first upgrade's 10,000, and then the next one's like 50,000, and I don't know if there's another one after that. But there is, so you have like this mysterious community center where you get to like, it's kind of,
Oh, you kind of build out, right?
yeah. So it kind of gives you like you need to like collect things, and they have like packages for each thing. So you have to like fill out certain items in it. You basically take the items to the thing, and then once you fill out like a specific like package, it gives you a reward. But one of those giant things is, which I just got actually, is the community like treasury, I guess. And I think in total, because you buy that, the packages for that is just like, buy this for $5,000, buy this for 10, and I think in total that's 15 plus 25. I think that's like 40,000 gold, I think.
Okay.
And that unlocks the Calico Desert, which I just got. It's like this whole new place to the game. It's like a whole new dungeon for mining.
Oh.
And then like a new shop, 2 new shops actually. Yeah. I really like this game because it's wait, before I move on. And big money sinks. Probably also upgrading your equipment gets expensive. Because you go kind of like bronze, silver, gold, iridium.
Okay.
So equipment can get pretty expensive because it scales. And like weapons and stuff too. If you want to like buy something, there's a sword that I want to get called like the fire blade god katana thing. And
Of course.
that's like $25,000 by itself. So I'm like,
Oh.
so expensive. But it's maybe I'm just playing it. I think the game is just like super well designed in that like as long like I'm not like hyper focusing on one thing. I'm kind of like experiencing everything like at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you play the game like that, you kind of like the game kind of like lets you unlock things like when like it's kind of designed that you unlock things in a way like I'll be like, oh, that makes a lot of sense that I have this now, or that I have access to this place now because
Yeah,
this
like
happened.
the
stuff
progression
like that.
system is very gradual.
Yeah, it's very like, yeah, it's very cohesive. Yeah. I forgot what I was going to move on to, but I don't remember.
You were going to a new area.
Oh, yeah. So it's a new area. I also unlocked the sewers. I really like how the game is like, it's super mysterious about stuff. So it's like, it gives me that like thrilling feeling of like, ooh, I gotta find out what's happening here. The first time I found out something like that, the game also kind of like RuneScape gives you like secret notes that you can find, and then you have to like find out where those treasures. Yeah, you have to like find out where the treasures are, or you have to like solve the puzzle that it's leading to. But the first thing is when you clear out, it took me a little bit to clear out my like farm area. But in like the top left corner is a shrine to your grandpa, and the story starts out in Stardew Valley. It starts out with like this small little like, you got tired of your life in the city. Your grandpa died and left you this farm. And it was like really short, not like, and it almost like throwaway. Almost, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then I like cleared out the shrine area, and it was like, hey, Link, this is your grandpa. I hope you like the farm. I'll see you in year 3. And I was like, what? You're alive?
When you say Link, that's the character you named.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, that's my character.
Okay. I was like, wait, what?
Sorry. Yeah. I also based off, I think I said this last time, but I based my entire farm off of Legend of Zelda stuff.
Yeah, you mentioned.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But I was just like, what does that mean? And then also in the second year, there's the Jody, her husband came back. And I won't spoil anything, but I think he's got some issues. He's like fucked up a bit. And so if you're like going to become a friend with him, you got to deal with some shit. There's also like shadow people that I'm trying to figure out, and there's like dwarves. It's crazy. I'm like discovering all kinds of stuff.
There's so much more to this game. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
I need to play that more. Maybe that'll be next.
It's fun.
Well,
but yeah, that's about it, I think.
About it?
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, other than that, did you guys hear anything like some SuperBoss shit in the past? Well, I feel like we haven't done this in a while. I don't know. Well, actually, yeah, because every other time it's been like, oh, it's a big big thing just happened, like a PlayStation, Xbox, blah blah blah. So
yeah, it's kind of just been.
Have you guys? Those end up taking like the spot.
Yeah.
So, but have you guys heard anything cool this past week?
I mean, so this is something we've talked about before, but there's a game called Mortal Shell that I guess fits into the Souls-like genre, but they released their release date trailer today, and it comes out August 18th, August 13th. What did I say? Yeah, it comes out August 18th, which I thought was way sooner than I was expecting, because I think they only had was it a closed beta or an open beta a few weeks ago?
Yeah, it was like a beta on like whatever they showed, I guess.
Yeah, but I was surprised.
Yeah. Huh.
I didn't see. I know people were allowed to stream Mortal Shell stuff, but I never watched anything, so definitely curious about that game. I don't know if I'm necessarily interested enough to buy it, but I feel we're at this point in game releases where we are kind of in another drought, where the really big releases don't happen till towards the end of the year, and so any games I think that come out in August or September, I think will be kind of on their own, and that's why I'm interested about Mortal Shell, because there aren't that many games coming out this month that are that extraordinary. Like, I know it's at least popular on Twitch, but a new game called Fall Guys came out.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna mention that.
But in terms of other game releases, like, we had Ghost of Tsushima last month, and now we're just kind of in the waiting. I think everybody's just in the waiting period for Cyberpunk and Halo. But yeah, it's a game that's coming out kind of in the middle of a drought, and I'm interested.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. Yeah, I need to look at that release date trailer after this.
Yeah, because I was gonna say you showed us that, Ian.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember you showed you're like, oh, check out this, or you mentioned it probably on one of the podcasts a while back,
Yeah, I think so. It was something.
something like that, or maybe it was like a side conversation. I don't remember, but
I think both. Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm still interested so far. Let's see. I just kind of like. Well, I'll do two kind of. One, I just want to mention. Go look at those Switch small indie titles. I was looking around at some of the stuff on the Nintendo YouTube.
store. Oh,
Yeah, they have like a lot of cool like indie stuff that I've been seeing.
dude, Nintendo drops so much like nindies. It's actually crazy
Oh
awesome.
my god. That's my first time hearing that.
Wait, what?
Nindies.
That's what they call
That's great. No, that's just my first time hearing that term. That's great.
them. Like, but
That's hilarious.
oh,
No, it works.
okay.
It works perfectly. I'm not like bashing it. It's funny.
No, I'm just surprised you haven't heard that.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't
But-
have like a Switch or anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Mistake one.
Sad. Yeah, no. I'll get one eventually.
Eventually. Yeah.
But the big thing, this is kind of more for like comic book fans, I guess. But DC is doing their DC fandom on August 22nd.
Yeah, August.
Yeah. So it's going to be virtual because of the current
Yeah.
climate and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, it's already kind of weird because I think Comic-Con did like theirs virtually, I think last week or so.
Oh, they
No,
did?
2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was like recent, and I was like, because I remember it popped up as, oh, check it out. I was like, wait, what? This is a thing?
Mm.
But
Did you
or I
actually
guess it
like
just threw me off. Like,
look into it a lot, or?
no,
Oh,
I
okay.
think you had to have access.
Oh.
Like, so that's why I didn't look into it too much.
Gotcha.
So that's why I'm kind of curious of how DC will do
This
it.
one,
I saw this pop up. I just didn't look into it that much.
yeah. From what I've read, and it's not a lot, but I vaguely remember somewhere saying it's free. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might be a liar, but I'm pretty sure I read that it's free to see. At least
Maybe
for,
certain
like,
things you can see for free.
Yeah, some like big stuff at least, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I should actually. Thanks for reminding me. I remember seeing that pop up on my feed, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'll look into that later."
What
Then I forgot.
interests me is like the first sentence here is like save the date and prep your cosplay. So
Huh.
maybe they're doing like some kind of cosplay show virtually.
It sounds like they'll just
might
do
be a
a
video.
virtual one.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that might be kind of interesting.
Like they could probably have like pull up a video in a room and just like they'll just
Yeah.
I guess it might be more virtual if anything, like Luke said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
Huh.
that was just cool.
It's just cool to see how certain conventions just deal with this.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it's just interesting. But good on them. I'm excited. Can't wait to see what comes out of that. 'Cause I need some new shit with DC. Well,
What about you?
I think
Yeah.
the cool thing I've heard was more I think I just saw like a trailer pop up, and I probably got a lot of emails just because I was in the beta for this. But so Game Pass is now gonna have the xCloud along with it. So now they're allowing users to actually play certain games off Android devices initially. So I thought that was just cool. Like I was like, oh, okay. So not only just Game Pass, but now you can like play on your phone. Some people could just play on their phone. I know some people like that.
What
I've
titles
tried
did
it.
they say are available?
Oh man, I can't remember if it was everything on Game Pass or if it's select. I feel like it's. I need to. I need to check the trailer again. But from what I remember, it was from what it sounded like. It sounded like everything on Game Pass, but I might be wrong on that. Because when I tried the beta, there was only select things from like mostly Xbox. So who knows? Like, so they might just have the open like entire catalog just released onto that, and you'll just have the option to play it on your phone. But you have to have a Game Pass account. I think Ultimate account.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I tried it. I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, it actually works, but it's just kind of like it's still kind of weird to play like, let's say like Halo 5 on it, because I played like the multiplayer. It worked, but it was just kind of a small screen, you know. So maybe it'll work for certain games. Like I tried some other things, but that one didn't work. I tried like what is that called? My gosh. There's one. It's the series with War and Death, and then they had Fury as.
Oh,
All of a
Darksiders.
sudden, Darksiders. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, it starts with a D. Tried that on the phone. It worked fine. So I guess
Oh,
I don't know. I think that's a cool option. Why not?
yeah.
If you have
Wait,
like
hold
the
up.
Wi-Fi to do it.
Do they have? Hold up. Do they have Darksiders 3 on Game Pass?
I don't remember if it was Xbox only or if it was for both.
Ooh, okay.
It might, but I don't. It's always burrowed.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things that are like, it came out, but it like gets buried behind all like the new or like actual cool games that everyone's playing.
Excuse you? You're saying Darksiders is not cool?
No, Darksiders 3 is kind of iffy.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, but I still want to play it.
I
Oh
do
yeah,
too.
it is.
I didn't get to. It is. Oh okay.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it says I can install it at least.
It's in. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it's included
with
with Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, cool.
You should be able to play it. Hell yeah. And then along with that, just to tack on like Xbox, apparently Master Chief Collection is gonna have crossplay.
Oh no.
Yeah, I heard they were gonna have crossplay and also multiplayer is gonna be free to play.
Sick.
Is what I've heard.
Or wait, for Master Chief Collection? Or is that Infinite? Because I think Infinite was the
Sorry,
free
yeah.
multiplayer.
Multiplayer, free multiplayer is infinite. But yeah, I did hear about the crossplay.
Yeah, crossplay.
That's still pretty
Yeah.
sick.
But most likely Infinite will be the same. Who knows? They
Mm.
might do the same thing too and just have crossplay, because I think it's supposed to be both on Xbox One and the new one and PC. So I don't know how they're gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But yeah, no, I think for the collection, that would have been cool to know. So I didn't have to tell one of our friends to buy it, because he was like, I already have it on the Xbox. I'm like, yeah, but we can't crossplay. And of course, like now all of a sudden they just pop it out. I was like, oh shit. Oh well, he's playing with us still, so it's fine. Actually, yeah, that's also another game I've been playing, but I totally forgot to mention. But
Oh, yeah,
of course, it's
Halo.
just it's just playing with the guys. It's just fun to play custom games. So
Mm-hmm.
crossplay will just probably add it a lot. Like it's just a cool addition. Like I'm like, why not? That's cool.
Did they say, are they doing input-based matchmaking, or did they say anything about how they are doing matchmaking?
They are. They did. I think they did mention how there will be. I don't know about matchmaking, but they are giving the option for, let's say, console gamers to hook up like a keyboard and mouse. So probably most likely, I would assume they would. They should.
Oh wow.
I hope so.
Okay.
That's wild.
Yeah. I hope they do, because that would make more sense.
Yeah, because the
Um,
PC shooters are just gonna womp them.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
or if you want to play controller on PC for whatever reason. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool too. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like input-based matchmaking is like I hear so many people complain about. So something I know Destiny does with multiplayer is they do what's called skill-based matchmaking,
mhm.
and I know people hate that. So
Mm.
maybe this
Yeah, they
is
took
maybe
that
this
out.
is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, because Destiny took that out because no one liked it, and they only kept it in like the competitive
Mm.
playlists, which kind of sucks to me. In my opinion, it sucks, but I get it. Why not?
It sucks that
It's-
they took it out, or that
It
stayed
sucks that
in.
they took it out. To
Oh,
me,
okay.
it sucks that they took it out.
Gotcha.
Because it sucks. Like when you play a normal game, it's like, oh, there's certain people that, Like me and one of our friends is like, why do these guys not know what to do? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, he gets
It's
so
just
mad.
it's like it's a double-edged sword. So
Yeah, I feel that.
I can talk about that, but it's honestly whatever. But yeah, I know crossplay. I think that's gonna be cool. Hopefully, yeah, I think input would having the option for that would be nice because I think even for crossplay, like I know cross-gen people are like it's like how I can choose to play with other like PC players in general, right? So we'll see.
We shall see.
We shall see. But on that note, if you guys don't got anything else, we could just go take a quick water break.
Sounds good to me.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, we're just gonna take a quick water break. If we had an ad here, we'd put it, but probably not. So just gonna get some water. Be right back.
Sponsor us.
And we're back from our water break. I hope you got some water or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to drink. Yeah. Whatever you want to drink. It's fine. We're all home anyway, right? Speaking of, we're all home anyway. So with the, like, I know we talk about games a lot, so I figured let's switch it up a bit. Let's switch it to something that we just have to watch, not do anything. Just be a potato. I mean, you could be a potato, but you could watch something and be a potato.
Listen, finger pressing, button pressing, joystick moving is very intensive.
Yeah.
And I think you should respect that.
I gotta use brain cells for that.
Yeah.
But I guess like the main topic's more like just like a discussion in that I know like we had some of our friends like ask about I think specifically anime, so I kind of talked to you guys about just anime, but if you want to add other things too, but most likely this might just be an anime episode.
Dog, I think we could fill out like 6 hours.
Yeah,
of
no,
anime.
for real. We could do. Yeah, I was gonna say we would just probably. Yeah, most likely it's just anime.
Like, if you thought
we faked out,
we were just
we faked it out.
disgusting useless nerds before today's episode.
Oh yeah,
you're about to find out we're disgusting useless anime nerds this episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say like this is just where everyone finds out we're like fucking anime
dirty weed.
Yeah, big old anime nerds. Except with the list that Luke showed, I don't know anymore. I feel kind of out of the loop, to be honest.
That's all the new stuff.
Yeah, that's all. It's all seasonal anime.
Yeah,
right.
Which
so it's like the
I cannot stand.
We'll get into this.
Yeah, we'll get into that most likely. But essentially, I told the guys just to like kind of bring a list. I didn't want to like say like top 5 or like top. I don't know. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to say like it could be like what would we recommend to people that are new to anime or just want something new to watch? Like we could just point them to this episode. Marketing, boom, easy.
Market.
But I don't know how you guys want to start this. Do you guys want to just go down your own list, or you just want to do a round, like just in a circle?
What was the last show you guys watched?
The last anime I watched?
The last?
Yeah.
Like watched and finished, or just watched?
Just the last one you watched.
Oh. Last one I watched was what's it called? Oh my god, God of High School.
Right? I think.
No, yeah, God of High School. Yeah.
The last. Jeez.
It's probably been a while for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, I guess it would have been. Frick. Zombieland Saga.
I was gonna say you just watched something.
Yeah. I can't remember like what I watched on my own versus like what I watched with my girlfriend and stuff like that. But yeah, Zombieland Saga. That was the last.
And the last thing I watched was, Fate Grand Order. I think.
Wait, is it the
one on Netflix? They have multiple ones on Netflix.
I was gonna say.
No, not. It was Fate Apocrypha. Yeah, Apocrypha.
Okay.
I think it was Apocrypha.
Oh, never mind.
I was gonna say Grand Orders.
I got slightly excited.
They all just
melt
together.
Yeah.
They're not very good.
Here's my take on that: is there's only one good one, and it's Fate Zero.
You almost said ReZero.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen that.
No, Zero's. Yeah, I was gonna say Zero's good.
So like my opinion in the Fate series is I think specifically the things set in the main visual novel, as in Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night,
Say night.
Unlimited Blade Works, and Heaven's Feel.
Yeah.
I think those are the ones that they're trying their best. Everything outside of those is just pandering fan servicey garbage. And not necessarily even in terms of plot fan service, but just like, oh, people like to see our characters. We just want to put our characters in random situations where you just see more of the characters. That kind of fan service. Because I mean, they also
I'm
had
okay with
they had
that.
Carnival Phantasm, which is like super fan service because it's just all the characters not having to kill each other and just hanging out, and like it's funny, and I think that's great. But some of the other, like the ones on Fate, like Apocrypha and Grand Order, have a lot of plot fan service, and it just like
Have you watched Grand Order? Wait, have you watched the most recent one? Because I was gonna
most
ask,
recent
'cause
Grand
I watched
Order,
that.
or
Yeah, the one on Crunchyroll right now.
no, I don't have a Crunchyroll, or no, I haven't.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask because I was like, I thought that one was good compared to I think Apocrypha's bad.
Yeah.
I think the Grand Order is actually like finally good
I've
because I've talked to like some of my other friends that are like, oh wow, this is actually not that bad compared to everything else. So I was gonna just make sure because I disagree.
I haven't seen Grand
on that
Order.
one.
What's that one?
It's the one. It's the Babylonia one. So it's like
Oh, is that where the kid is like evil?
kid.
The Emiya?
Ooh, no,
Oh.
no. That's also Apocrypha.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind. That's
Yeah. No, that's why I was like, Grand Order is like the one where it shows Archer in his time when he was actually like alive.
Oh.
So
I thought that was actually cool. Like that one's
it's
actually
like
solid.
my big thing, and it's this is heavily weighted by the fact that a lot of the anime I do watch with my girlfriend, is the character design in Grand Order is so bad in terms of their fan service, where like there's no, like, we don't need to watch this. This is garbage. Because there's basically, you have the Rin character model that a lot of people like, and I think, is she Ishtar?
Yes.
Yeah, and she just runs around with like
Also
a crop top and
I should
a
say.
skirt that doesn't cover anything, basically.
Yeah, that's just straight up
Yeah.
fan service. Yeah.
And Shielder's character design is also pretty wonky, but it's just it's an anime my girlfriend just won't enjoy watching, I don't think so. That's probably the main reason I haven't watched Grand Order yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably it because I watched that by myself. Well, only because like I know most like my other friend group, they all watch it too. So we like just they.
I just
they all
want to
like-
say so I won't watch that with my girlfriend because she won't enjoy it, and then Harrison saying, "Yeah, I watched that by myself," implies hilariously lewd things, but I just thought that was funny.
Actually, yeah, it's actually only because like she wants to watch it
Don't
later,
say-
but
yeah.
that's like a later.
Don't say yeah.
And I was like, all right. Josh, Ian, what's wrong with
Josh?
watching shows by yourself?
Josh,
My name is
Ian.
Ian.
I said gosh, Ian.
You said Josh.
He said Josh.
I said gosh.
100% you said Josh.
We'll listen to it back. We'll let Jason,
All right.
our editor.
All right, Jason, let us know. But
Um,
no, okay, going back to like the original question.
right.
Wait, what did you watch, Ian? I forgot. Zombieland Saga.
Yeah. That was fun. It was funny. It was good.
Question: Are these all animes that we watch because we watch with our girlfriend?
No, I have a lot that I have.
Zombieland Saga? No. I meant the most recent one.
Whoa, what about it? Sorry.
Is this an anime because you? Is this an anime you watched because you watched it with your girlfriend?
Oh no.
No.
Luke mentioned it and he said it was good, so that's why it'd been on my list.
I was gonna say, is this the one that you watched with your girlfriend?
Oh, yeah,
That initially
yeah.
started. That's why I was just
yeah.
curious. Okay, because mine is too.
Yeah, no, like, I just started watching, and then my girlfriend decided to sit down and watch with me.
Oh, yeah, because I think because Crunchyroll just did like this because we watched Tower of God, and my girlfriend really liked that one. Sarah just loves it. So then we're like, oh, this new one's also webtoons. Let's just see how it goes, and it's just a tournament arc, and it's just great. I'm like, okay, cool. Just give me
Yeah, it's just tournament arc of the anime. Is what I hear.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is fine. That's all I want. Why not?
Wait, which one is it?
God of High School.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
So far, it's like just tournament arc,
Mm-hmm.
the anime. But so anyway, but with that, I guess actually let's just kind of. Do you guys have like how long is your list? That's a better question.
I mean, I would say pages, but it's like a small little notebook, so it's not as much as it implies. But I have like 2 and the 1/8 of pages. It's not too much, but
yeah. What about you, Luke?
Quite a few.
I mean, I just have. It's just a long list.
Yeah,
Just a long list?
It's very loosely sorted by genre.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Let's do this. What if you had to recommend someone? What anime would you recommend to someone if they've never watched anime?
I mean,
but they want to get into it. That's like the key.
I'd have to ask, like, what other things have you watched? / what are you interested in? Because I'm not gonna suggest, hey, you should watch. Like, if they want something actiony and dramatic, I'm not gonna recommend something like Nichicho or Devil is a Part-Timer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. If you were to make a generalization based off someone you didn't know, I think like a very safe bet is Full Metal, just because so many people like it. Like,
yeah, I think that's my go-to. Also, is just to tell them Full Metal Brotherhood.
Yeah, but like Luke said,
but I was gonna say I only say that because every time I hear someone's like, oh, it's just like, oh, you're like, it's the typical, oh, you just watch cartoons. I'm like, yeah, and then you show them that, you're like, oh, this is like, to me it like adds on, like, oh, see what they talk about, see what, like, how quote unquote there's like action, violence, they're actually like addressing issues that you wouldn't think like a normal Saturday cartoon would,
right?
So that's my reason why I kind of give that, because I think every time I've suggested that, it's been like oh, I like it. Oh, I'm like, okay, cool.
Because like it is an actually like well written story. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my only thing about, because I really like the Full Metal Alchemist series.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, like, I've talked to some people who, it's such a weird thing where they don't want to watch really long, like a really long series.
That's fair.
Because I mean, Full Metal isn't technically that long. It's
not.
like 64. It's like in the 60, yeah.
Mm.
But then that same person like, oh yeah, I watched every season of Doctor Who. It's like, oh,
yeah,
like it's this weird disconnect.
Yeah,
and so
that's
like,
when I just disregard them and make them watch it anyway.
Yeah, I think my safest recommendation is if they're like, what's one? Just give me an anime. It's definitely gonna be on the shorter side, because I think, like I want to make sure I don't lose them. Or like, oh yeah, watch this, because there's some people I know who are like, oh, watch Hunter x Hunter, it's amazing. It's like, yeah, it was good, but it's 128 episodes.
Yeah, that's a hard sell.
That throws off some people.
There's one that I would do instead is also, like, I'm usually really bad at this, but I think this is incontestant for like my favorite anime. Is Bakano. That I think it's because it's like really well written story, really cool. It has some fantasy, but like not too much to where somebody who's not necessarily into like the crazy anime shit would be turned off by it. So it's like it's realistic or it has like a lot of realism in it.
Right.
But
yeah,
like the story's like hyper thrilling. It's, oh man, Bakano's so good.
Yeah, like I honestly can't, like, there is no just the one general answer. I'd have to like get some sort of context from them of like,
yeah,
what do you like?
Yeah.
But yeah, Bakano was a good answer.
That's a good one.
Because I was gonna say, like, I mean, you could say it is older, but Cowboy Bebop I think is a safe bet because
That's also
it does kind of sit in the it's not power, friendship, tournament arc,
Right.
shonen garbage.
It's like Casablanca style, like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it fits more in line with I think a standardized live action show because there's mystery and drama in it. It's fairly episodic, like how
Right.
some TV series are.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, and all of those have solid dubs, right? I remember Ian, you said Bakuno actually has a solid dub.
Yeah, I think
right?
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
the
like,
most
I've
part.
heard- that too.
Bebop has a good dub.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bebop's
Bebop
good.
has a good dub.
Do you?
I've only actually heard the dub. I haven't heard the.
I only say dubs just to like help them push into like, hey, don't have to watch sub right away, but these you can watch in dub. But I recommend sub
See,
later,
like,
for certain
I
things.
almost always tell people like just watch the sub. Like
Hmm.
the subs I think are inherently better than dubs for a variety of reasons. Like
yeah,
like my two big points are one, I think Japanese voice actors do have a better range of emotion and they tend to sound more interesting. And also, I feel like in subs, I think a lot of things get lost in translation, moving from
Yeah.
Japanese to English, and that's my other big reason.
yeah,
But yeah,
agreed.
see, I always tell people to watch subs, and I know someone I know only watches in dubs, which it also makes it a little harder to find good dubbed anime.
Yeah, because then it's
Or, like,
it's like a weird
yeah.
like
Either
if it sounds bad, you can't watch it, right?
yeah,
That's like a hard
or
thing.
just like,
Hard
oh
to
yeah,
s-
like, oh, this is a really good one, or like, oh, they don't have their dub for another year, so
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have to wait, basically.
Yeah.
oh
Out of like all the ones I've listened to, there are only a few that I would say are actually good. Yeah.
yeah.
I
I mean,
it,
the only one I ever recommend is like Brotherhood, Full Metal, in dub. That's the only one I ever say just watch dub. Everything else I have not.
not
said
even
that.
Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z.
I guess that's a weird one because I got used to
Don't
it. You know,
don't watch Dragon Ball.
See, I don't. I
No.
will not watch Dragon Ball Z in
no, yeah, you're
Jap-
right. I just won't.
Japanese.
You're right. That's
Oh really?
Yeah, no, it's because
just
the
throws you
it's
off too
annoying.
much.
You're right.
the Goku in the Japanese version, the voice actor for
It's
Goku,
just
their
old
voice
lady.
for him sounds like a little kid, and he's an adult male.
This is kind of off topic. I think it's really funny when people figure out who actually voices their
It
characters.
voices yeah,
Not even just Goku, but like
just anyone.
yeah.
there's always a really funny anecdote. I don't know if it's true or not, but I choose to think it's real. And I think it's funny, where supposedly they were doing a showing of Naruto at like a theater or something,
Mm-hmm.
and they had the voice actress for Naruto there to talk, and I think this is when Naruto was out, so you obviously had a bunch of like teenage weebs
Right.
who just love Naruto, and they were so excited. And I'm pretty sure the voice actress for Naruto in English was this like middle-aged Irish woman, and people were just shattered. Like, it's impossible. That can't be Naruto. Like, same with Ash
Yeah,
in Pokemon.
I was gonna mention
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say
the
Ash.
current.
Yeah.
Well, actually, is it every Ash? I think because I know the current
dude, I
show
don't know
is,
anymore.
is female actress, voice actress,
Actually, I have
and
no idea.
then
Yeah, I think is it Tara Reid? I think that's.
I can't remember.
Oh, actually, I think so. Now that you mention it, but
Maybe I'm thinking of a different Tara.
But yeah, like
Yeah, it's a female,
mhm.
yeah.
and I think it's just amazing when people figure out they're crushed. Because it is like I think it's really impressive in terms of just like in the voice acting industry to see the range some people can do,
yeah, right.
or like you wouldn't even expect. Like,
yeah,
oh yeah, that's a dude, or like, oh yeah, that's a girl.
hmm just some
Yeah, it's always
crazy
fun.
talent out there.
Yeah. But going back to every time with anime we can like go on a tangent. It's so
Oh,
easy
yeah.
because there's always like some cool things about it.
Hmm.
But man, I can't remember. Were we gonna say just do like we said recommendations, but
Yeah.
so
Ooh.
I guess Luke, you don't have like a go-to pool of like
I mean, I have a
like-
huge pool, but it like if someone just went up to me like, "Hey, recommend me an anime," I like.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you like?
wanna,
Do you like comedy? Do you like romance? Do you like action?
It's like a normal TV
yeah,
show.
like I have to.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there is no one just catch-all anime.
No.
Like a lot of anime do have parts where they do hit everything, but I think overall there is nothing that just encapsulates every sort of genre.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you were to ask me like, hey, can you recommend me like a comedy anime? I'm like, boom, here's my list. Here's 10 of them right now. Just watch these.
Oh man.
You know what?
Fucking
Yeah. Hey, Ian, how is your list organized? Is it just like
there's no organization to
pool?
this.
Okay.
I'm
Just titles.
I'm flying by the seat of my pants here, man.
Okay. So how about this? If someone's already watched, so we already talked about how like if we could recommend something, here's that. But if someone's already watched a good amount, and like and they know like they're like, oh, what do you think is good? Like, what is your top? Let's say like top 3 or 5 in your book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you have to fight to the death and explain why you like it,
Well, one's definitely Baccano.
go.
Yeah, I could probably do this pretty quick. One's definitely Baccano. There's an anime movie that I feel like nobody but me has seen. That's not true, but it feels that way because I tried to talk to with a lot of our friends and none of them have seen it. But it's called The Boy and the Beast. It's such a good anime movie.
I've seen that trailer.
Yeah, I've tried to get you guys to watch
I know. I was like, oh, that sounds familiar. Oh,
It's
I literally just heard that on Trash Taste podcast. I'm like, oh, awkward.
It's so good. It literally made me cry.
What is it? The quick thing. What is that about?
The Boy and the Beast is about
Boy and Beast. Okay, got it.
yeah, literally actually. Yeah, it's a kid who gets orphaned basically, and he discovers this there's this realm, this other world that you can find your way to, and it's full of beast people. It's a bunch of furries.
Okay.
But yeah, it's beast people, and he finds a mentor there, and he grows up there, and you just kind of figure out, and then he goes back into the human world and has to reconnect with his human side, and then it's choosing between two worlds kind of thing. It's great.
Oh,
It's great.
okay.
It's a coming of age story, but also a parent child story. It's great.
See, Ian, why didn't you just sell me that in the first
I
one?
did.
Just kidding. He did.
All right, so that's 2. Berserk, the original animation, because the garbage 3D that they tried to pull off did not work.
Don't even get me started. See, do you include in Berserk? Do you include the movies as well, or just the?
I don't.
Because I think the movies do pretty well in terms of how they try and tackle 3D. It doesn't look too bad, honestly.
See, I don't think I haven't seen the movies, so I might try.
They're on
out.
Netflix.
Okay.
There's 3 of them.
There's 3 of them?
Yeah.
I might try that out.
Shit.
Because see, when you talk about the original Berserk anime, are you talking about the legitimate OG 1997 version?
Let me see. Which one am I talking about? Berserk.
Which one are you talking about? Because when did the quote unquote new one come back?
Oh,
not super recent, but
2016,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, 2016 is when they had their the new versions come out.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm trying to find. Is there only the new one and the old one, or is there different
I was gonna ask that too. If there's like a multiple versions, versus like just the two that I can think of. Granted, I haven't watched these, so
All right, here we go.
Remember.
Yes, I believe I'm talking about the 1997 one.
Okay.
Which is super old. So maybe somebody who
Who cares about new
younger
animation?
people might like the new one better.
Maybe. It's not. It's so bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think the animation. I don't think it's that the old one is that bad. It's definitely like an older style, but I don't think the animation.
Oh, I was talking about the new one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the new one's really bad. I can't deal with that. But
Yeah, I think so. I guess the big thing about the movies is that they're a recap of the original anime,
mhm.
just in a, I guess, more updated aesthetic.
not 3D, or is it just?
It's some parts of it are 3D. If I'm trying to remember. I think some are.
Probably like the action.
Yeah, like some action sequences are 3D, and they're not too bad.
Cool. Okay.
Actually, when we say 3D, we should say it's technically CG, because every time I say 3D,
Yeah, sorry,
I
it's
think
like-
of
it's
like
like a
64
CGI
or
thing.
something. Like,
Yeah. Sorry,
yeah.
I don't know the complexities.
I just thought about it because it is funny, because when I see the new Berserk, I'm like, I do see it in 3D though. I see it like in a bad this is a bad PS2 game in my eyes. I don't know why, but
Man, that's like 3. Where are we going to? Are we going to 5?
it's up to you, man. Let's just do. Oh, that was your 3. Holy
That
shit!
was
Oh yeah, Bakuno. Yeah.
Bakuno,
Okay.
Berserk, and
Berserk.
what else did I say?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, The
Cool,
Boy and the
man, it's your
Beast.
list.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
But I
Yeah.
mean, there's a lot more, and that will change like depending how I feel on the day. But
Yeah.
I'll give those.
All right, we'll just keep
Those
it
are
at
good.
that. We'll keep it at that. Yeah. What about you, Luke?
Oh God. So
Do we have to break into genre? 'Cause
no,
I don't mind.
no. I mean,
Okay,
like,
all right.
so if I was gonna give my top 3 straight off the top of my head, it definitely number 1 is always Evangelion,
Mhm.
and I think a lot of people know of Evangelion mainly from memes, or just like people always compare other parts of anime to other parts of Evangelion, but I think factually, like, disregarding all the reasons why I love Evangelion, I think it's also very important for anime as a whole, because
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
there's a definite shift in a lot of anime after Evangelion came out. So it definitely has like a historical significance.
Yes.
But I love Evangelion for I could just gush about that anime for a long time, but it's my number 1 favorite, and like regardless of what people like, I always suggest it anyway. And
Mhm.
most of the time I know they're not going to watch it, but I like plant the seed. I love Nichijou as well. Like, it definitely has my type of humor, because I think I was talking with one of my friends a while ago, and he made like an offhand comment about how I really like absurdist humor, and I was like, I have to sit back like, yeah, I guess I really do. And Nichijou is, it's like super absurd, but it's also really like wholesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and,
it's
like,
I was
a
gonna say,
really
it's wholesome
good-
at least.
Yeah, it's like, I think it is a really nice anime to watch, because it is really funny, but overall there's a really good story in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always like after those two, it just kind of devolves into like, well,
Oh, yeah.
like I really
In
like
this-
Hyoka, because like for some people slice of life is like that's the thing, and I
Mhm.
think Hyoka is like one of my, I wouldn't say it, I still think it is one of the best slice of lives, but I think, me personally, I just really like it.
Mhm. Okay.
So there's Hyoka.
Oh, I have seen
I could
it,
talk. Yeah, you know it. I could talk about. I mean, One Punch season 1, I think is really good.
Really good. Yeah.
and then like so there's my top 3 is Evangelion, Nichijou, Hyoka, and then the 4 and 5 depend on like who I'm talking to, because like
okay.
oh like they
If I
really
want to,
like because some people are only wanting to watch like what's the most amazing animated, what's the prettiest thing, like oh watch this, but like if they don't
Yeah.
care as much, they want the story, like hey check out Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho is amazing,
I love Mob Psycho.
and the animation style is kind of wonky, but it really grows on.
but it's a charm that it grows onto. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we could like if they're mature adults, I'd be like, yeah, Kill la Kill I think is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It's just you have to get over the fact that it's a lot of fan service, but like it's there for.
But it's
They try and justify it, and it's not too bad.
Yeah.
it's like,
Like it's not
the
blunt.
plot. The plot is the plot.
Yeah,
almost.
It's,
and I'm
it's
like,
not
wait.
just fan service for fan service's sake.
Something
Yeah.
I appreciate about that is they also they at least try to like balance it out too. So it's
not
less,
just
like I guess sexist. I don't know. It's less.
Yeah, no, it's less sexist.
everyone is equally naked.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
is what you're getting at.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, I think my top 3 is my safest bet, and then depending on what you like and what you've watched, the next 15 will be completely random based on what you like.
Okay. That makes sense.
I will
Actually,
say,
that's what I'd say.
a movie I always suggest outside of the rebuild of Evangelion movies is Sword of the Stranger. I think it's super awesome.
Oh yeah.
And if you're really into like old school samurai or old school Kurosawa films,
Mm-hmm.
you should watch Sword of the
cool.
Stranger because it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And Redline. How? Yeah.
Oh,
If you just want to have like a spectacle, and you kind of want to see, like even in like live action movies, there's some movies that are just so impressive visually. It doesn't really matter what the movie's about. It's so amazing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just fun to watch.
And I give the same thing, like watch Redline. Then Redline is that,
Yeah.
but in animated form. Because
Redline's like Coke for your eyes.
yeah, like
It really is,
it's everybody always jokes like it's basically LSD
Yeah.
for your
There you
eyes.
go.
Like I want to watch this while I'm high or blah blah, and like it really is incredibly stylized and it's super fun to watch.
Mm,
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what about you, Harrison?
yeah.
So my top 3, just like from what I've watched, at least, like this is just anytime everyone's like, "Oh, what's your top 3?" So I think my top 3. It's funny because these are the ones that like. The reason why I say these are my top 3 is only because it's like, personally for me, I didn't really watch anime back then. I mostly read manga instead, just because I'm like, oh, it takes less time, and I don't want to deal with filler, right? But then like one of my friends, her boyfriend, he was like, nah, dude. Like this is when I came into college. He's like, nah, dude, you're missing out. Here's like some anime you should look into, and I'm like, oh shit, all right, cool. I guess I'll give it a shot. So like, I think my top 3 would be, well, actually, let's do top 5. That would make more sense. So first one for me, I just think it's like the reason why I say Brotherhood all the time is just like for me, it was like, oh, I stopped watching anime and like cartoons in a sense because I had like this, like I had that mentality of, oh, it's a cartoon, I don't need to watch it, blah, blah, blah. But then like getting back into it, I'm like, oh shit, this is actually really good, so awesome. Like they're actually hitting the feels. Holy shit, I didn't think this was possible. So I think that the reason why I keep saying that was just because to me it's the most accessible in my opinion. But that's just me most likely. So that one, and then my number 2 is Hunter x Hunter. But I think that's only because I just like how the world's built, and just like it feels like everything's established in a sense. It's like the characters are in this world, and they're going on a journey, and you just like learn like more about it. Like, oh, what are like hunters, or like, and then what's the exam that they have to take? How do they get their license? And like what, and then just touching on more of the other characters, which then explores other parts of the world. And I'm like, this is just cool. And then I think, what was it? Do I put this at 3 or 2? or 3 or 4. It's always back and forth on these two. It's Code Geass and Gurren Lagann. Or actually, yeah, those two is always back and forth. But essentially, those are like 3 and 4. Just because I think back then, I think both of you probably like mentioned Gurren, and then I think my friend's boyfriend mentioned it. He's like, "No, you should watch that. It's good mecha." I was like, "All right, sure, why not?" So that one was just really fun to watch, and Code Geass was just like it's funny because I remember just being super serious, and I think that turns off some people too. Like, they're like, "Oh, it's just too serious." I don't know about what you guys think.
Yeah,
but
like it's there's no filler.
yeah,
It's very much just it's a political mech drama.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, pretty much.
Or it's like even like because Gurren Lagann is like action thriller
It's-
drama, but
Mm-hmm.
there are like a few episodes that are just filler, and like
Yeah.
there are some parts where just it's funny or something. But
Mm-hmm.
Code Geass is like 95% very serious, and yeah, some people it throws them off.
It throws them off, and like I think it's like it's funny because nowadays I think back then it was probably different because nowadays like people want that with Netflix. They're like, oh, just give me the show, and it's just like it doesn't have like that TV feel, you know. So I
Yeah,
think that's
it's very much. Sorry, go ahead.
no. I was just gonna say I think that's why I liked it too because I was like, oh wow, they focus on the story a lot. It doesn't hit filler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you mentioned how like we've been talking about how like Code Geass is very serious.
Mm-hmm.
It made me. I was reading a discussion about just Marvel movies like a few days ago
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
for whatever reason, and I think anime has never had like anime is since it's just all over the place. There is no blockbuster anime.
Yeah.
So everybody in the industry works on their own thing, and they obviously pull from each other, but there's no standardized thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like, especially in like I call it the superhero genre. Mainly, it's just
It is,
Marvel
though.
versus DC. You tend to see a big shift in how they treat the superhero movies because a lot of people really like the comedy, especially in the
Mhm.
Marvel movies, where
Yeah.
honestly, it's just like, and it's a bit of a turnoff for me, but there's a quip every like fourth or fifth line.
Yeah.
There is no legitimate, completely serious Marvel or DC movie, and I think that's where anime does stand out. Where you can have a very serious anime that has no jokes, whereas in a lot of movies nowadays, not even just in the superhero genre, but a lot of movies just in general, kind of have to touch on, like, has to be some romance, has to be some comedy, maybe a little bit of horror. I feel like in the mainstream, anime still has a little bit more definition in their genres.
Mm.
Oh, I guess like okay, I guess I get what you mean now. Okay, so like for instance, if you watch this type of anime, it's gonna be this type of genre, and you know what you're gonna get, right?
Yeah, like outside of what's really popular right now, like in the seasonal anime,
Mm-hmm.
most anime tend to sit within their main domain, like pretty harshly.
Yeah.
Something that turned me off. I can't remember which Marvel movies, but there were moments where it was like, "Oh, this humor seems really out of place here." And that, like, kind of like you, yeah, that's what turned me off. But I mean, in what was it? In Code Geass, there are like funny moments,
I
but
was
the
gonna say there are
humor,
funny
Yeah, like they're funny, but
reflects
it's
the humor is not out of bounds of the world or of what you would expect out of that scenario. It's not like throwing in a like, oh, he plays Fortnite, and
Yeah, it's like
it's
yeah.
all within the humor is built within the realm and within the circumstances and within the mood that reflects the story, instead of just being like something from out of left field that
yeah, like it's not just
Mhm.
like a throwaway funny comment to like
Yeah.
ha 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 funny.
yeah
It's like, okay, like they're making a joke and it's funny, and then like the conversation can still flow because it's not just thrown away at the end of a conversation. It's built into a conversation.
Yeah, I think that's like a huge thing for me is like, yeah, just for like the immersive experience of it, and like the humor. If something is going to be funny within like a drama, or if you're going to have drama within a comedy, I think it needs to reflect what the main purpose of the main concept is. And otherwise, you're just going to create like this huge disconnect that's going to throw people off. But yeah.
Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, it's still my list. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, where did we? What just happened? Where am I? And how many was that? Oh, that was 4. Okay, yeah, because that was like 3 or 4. And then, what is my? There was a 5th, and I had it just. Oh yeah. So my 5th, because it was a recent one that just popped up, and so my 5th right now is like probably this could change, but most likely it's Haikyuu. Just because I didn't think I'd like sports animes that much, and then because Ian's one of the people that was like, no, you should watch it. You should
sports
watch
anime is addictive.
And I mean, for this one, I really like it because there's like like typically everyone's always anime just like makes everything hyperbolic and like just out of like outrageous. Like for instance, like Kuroko, it's good. And it's like the whole shtick is, these guys are amazing because they have like this like these crazy abilities.
They just have superpowers.
Yeah. They just have superpowers. And it's like, this guy can make 3-pointers all the time, blah blah. And I'm like, oh shit. And and I guess that's cool. It's funny and it's cool. It's still good, but I think with Haikyuu, it just the story and like there's character development, there's actual like team building, like it's just.
That's like the
like
two spectrums of sports anime.
It is 2 spectrums. Yes,
the Haikyuu or the Kuroko, and
essentially.
Yeah.
And I think even using Haikyuu an example, it's one of those where like Ian was talking about, where there are like, because I think at its heart it's a volleyball drama, but obviously because they're like a young team, they're jokes and they're like obvious like. Really tight-knit group, and everything makes sense when they make a joke or when something is kind of thrown out of left side, and it's not just a throwaway.
Yeah. Like everything makes sense within these are middle school kids like playing like ball, like everything makes sense within
there's no big mood whiplash watching Haikyuu.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was trying to follow that.
And like there's some parts in Haikyuu that do hit like. There are some good emotional beats in Haikyuu too. Like I remember Ian talked about in one season where one thing I do like is like they lost. Like they lost a pretty big match. And you just like you see the aftermath where like everybody's sad. And it feels a lot more genuine.
But you feel it. Like it's like
like in some anime where it's just like we never lose, we're the best, and we always like get by somehow. There's no like Deus Ex Machina. In Haikyuu.
Yeah.
And I think that is probably one of the better, like, if someone wants to talk about, like, I want to watch an anime about sports, it's like, Haikyuu's probably the best because...
that's my go-to.
Like, it's very realistic in how they present the sport.
My only complaint with them is how they've, what's the word? I guess, paced the animation. I don't know about the manga because I haven't read the manga, but the most recent season felt
it is weird to watch,
right? Deflating, I guess. It's very weird. It's like I was expecting.
You can tell there's a change. You can tell that they changed studios or just
did
team.
they?
I can't. Yeah, no, they did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
that's the reason why. Yeah, it's a different studio from what I remember.
Yeah,
or different team, but it's straight up different. It's confirmed for sure because I remember watching it. Everyone's like, look at the comparison. Look at how different they look, and even then, that just kind of hits different.
I don't mind that they look different. I just think that if you have an entire season that's just like setup, it's like all right, that's bad. That's just bad pacing. You need to like fix something.
I think that's so I think with that, talking about seasons, I think that's just an issue of the byproduct of where we are with anime, and like now it's just become seasonal. And I think that's just that's just a big thing of like, how do you keep up with the story, but then also just try to pack it into like a chunk that makes sense because it has to fit the time schedule. I think that's just where we're at now with that, and I think that's just.
But I don't think that's an excuse to be like, we're gonna have an entire thing that's literally does nothing.
I mean. Or so then the argument is always, it's the same with movies and TV shows. How much do you cut out and how much you stuff in?
Sure, it's not. I'm not saying it's not a challenge, but I think.
So that is an excuse.
No, it's still bad. Like
it's bad, but I mean, I think that's
not
an
excuse. That's part of the challenge. That's part of creating a well, like, developed story. Is how do you do that? How do you get around that?
I think the other issue is it's coming off of the manga, so it's not really, you have to like somewhat match it, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So it's kind of like this. It's the same with like, I think like Boku no Hero, and like it's mostly just most anime now. It's like, oh, most time they just have to go off the anime or manga and get the stuff into like what we have now with seasons. And actually, speaking of, do you guys like the seasonal change? Or like just how anime like operates in seasons now? Or do you miss how it would just be ongoing?
Whoa.
Like for instance, how Naruto, Bleach, and like One Piece were just ongoing regardless. And now instead like we have like...
Well, they were blocked off into seasons though. Because
really?
Yeah, like back in the day, One Piece, like you bought it. If I'm a freaking nerd, so I bought one of the first volume of the DVD. It's blocked off into like volume 1 is.
Oh, that's when you bought it. Yes, that's when you buy it, but when you watched it.
Yeah, because they had breaks.
I thought it was ongoing. Because yeah, you can buy volumes of like Dragon Ball, and it's blocked off into those. Yeah. But at the time, I thought it was ongoing.
I remember watching
my older cousin saying.
I remember watching like reruns because I was waiting for like the next episodes to like come out, and because they didn't have anything else to show. But I could be wrong. I honestly,
because I felt like back then it was more like everyone was trying to like be like the best ongoing anime versus now it's like, oh, we can just have it in 13 episodes.
I guess there is more like breaks.
Yeah,
but
I guess, do you guys prefer that, or do you guys like the break and just have it? Because I know Luke mentioned was reacted a little bit at the beginning, and it was just like really funny to like.
If it means there's no like
hit the quality
filler, yeah. If there's no like, if you need to like have time in between seasons in order for not to just give me like non-consequential filler episodes, they'll just be like forgotten. Then sure, because at that point I feel like, I don't know, and I'm sure there's some people that enjoy it. They just want to see those characters more, or those characters interact together more. I don't know, but I'm not here for that.
Yeah. Like when I reacted earlier to seasonal anime, it's mainly in regards to literally seasonal anime where every summer or every fall, it's just a 12-episode anime that just comes out, and that's it. I can't stand those. But some people really like them because it's just like there's no commitment. I've always liked when anime gets a break. I think that's mainly swayed by the fact that a lot of the manga I read comes in spurts, and so I'm used to taking the break. Because like when the manga takes a break I'm a Berserk fan, so I like, oh, Berserk's going on hiatus for 4 years. It's like, yep, here we go. Business as usual. Like, I think it's better when, kind of like what Ian was saying, just for the anime, just stop. Don't make up some filler stuff, because I'm not going to care. It's not going to really be relevant. It's not going to really be canon. Yeah. So just, there's no point to me. I'm willing to wait.
Yeah. Agreed. No, I agree with all that. I think that's just. I think like the biggest joke is always like, oh, Naruto has like half its series is essentially filler.
Yeah, you could probably skip half of all the released episodes. You wouldn't really miss anything important.
No, you don't miss anything at all. So
I think that's just mainly with the entire shonen genre as a whole. I think.
Yeah.
Because the other big joke is like, yeah, you can watch this episode in Dragon Ball and Vegeta gets his driving license. Like, that's not relevant at all. But like, they did it because they needed filler.
Yeah.
But I like it's mainly because a lot of anime is based off manga anyway, and like if we want like, I think this it's definitely my top 10 regardless. It might be a top 5 overall, but using Attack on Titan as an example, the manga only comes out once a month.
Yep.
And so like I'm used to waiting, and Attack on Titan really doesn't have filler, and I think it's a lot better than a lot of other action / shonen anime out there because they're willing to take that break and wait for more like quality content to come out.
Right.
Question.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Attack on Titan? Are you like caught up with everything right now?
Manga or anime?
Either.
Anime wise, I think it's fantastic.
Okay.
Manga, I also think fantastic. I think the glaring issue that the anime did address is that there was a large portion in the manga where it turned into a pseudo-political drama. And it wasn't necessarily that bad if you're binging it, but since I was reading it release, it was just month after month after month of just more politics.
Yeah.
And it started to drag. But in the anime, they gloss over a lot of that. And they touch on the important points, they do mention it, but they don't spend effectively like 6 or 7 episodes about this one situation.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I think overall, especially, are you caught up, Ian?
Well, no. See, I watched the first season and then just stopped watching it.
Okay.
So I was just curious. Maybe I need to like.
I was gonna say my girlfriend said to keep watching because she like vetted it and she's like, no, it's good. Like they cut out the fat.
There's like the lowest point in the anime, in my opinion, is the first season, and the first season I think is really good, but it only goes up, and it starts to have some really interesting story points that they like because they've announced season 4 of Attack on Titan, which is going to be the last season.
Yeah,
and like because I've talked to my girlfriend about Attack on Titan. She doesn't really care about spoilers, so I talked to her about it. The beginning and the end of Attack on Titan are nothing alike.
Oh wow!
Like it is, the show does such a good way of like slowly expanding horizons, and then it really happens in season 3 where it's just bombshells. Like every other episode is just bombshells. And like if you only watched season 1 and I explained like season 3 and 4, you'd be like, no, that's a different anime. That is a different anime.
What are you
like,
talking about?
No, it's the same.
Oh, I'm
cool.
Okay, you just
like
reminded me.
I especially if I do have pretty firm belief that season 4 is going to be executed very well. Attack on Titan, I think, will go down as probably one of the like upper echelon of best anime.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing a lot from my friends too, and I'm like, oh, I do need to catch up on that.
Yeah, because like I mean, I've had complaints about anime as a whole. Like I think we've talked about it before, where like back in the early 2000s, you did kind of have like, oh, this was anime of the year. Like there was a very notable anime.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like everybody watched it. And then you obviously had others, but especially now with seasonal anime,
it's hard to do
there's
that.
so much out where everybody's watching. But I think, yes, Attack on Titan did have a pretty like long history of release because it's been a few years.
Yeah, it has.
But I think if someone was to go back in retrospect and look at Attack on Titan, it reminds me of like the early 2000s where like this defined anime for a while.
Cool.
And Attack on Titan, I think, will come to define anime for quite a while.
I think people like look back on it like after it's finished and it's been like a few years.
Yeah, definitely. It like definitely in my opinion.
I do think from what I've heard too is it's going to be one of those like top recommendations, like easily, like how we're like, oh, we say like all these recommendations. Oh no, this one's good. This one's going to be like one of the top 5 for a lot of people I know.
Yeah, like Attack on Titan to me will have the same kind of level of respect as, oh, this is like Code Geass, or like, oh, this is a Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Like this deserves to be watched, I think, regardless of what you enjoy.
Sick.
Yeah, that's the main reason why I didn't mention it on my list is just because I haven't caught up and I want to like actually catch up to like actually say that. So it's actually reassuring that you say that too, because my girlfriend's like she's like done the same. She's read up and stayed on like up to date on the manga, and she's just like, oh my god, this is easily like one of the best things I've ever read. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, like the manga is completely off the rails now, and like especially if you guys go to like season 3 of the anime, it's so good in terms of always like it's always escalating the situation without like you're not feeling overwhelmed.
Okay.
And there's just so many good bombs. Like I could talk about Attack on Titan a lot because I think it is phenomenal.
Wow. Okay.
We'll probably talk about it more next time when I catch up, because you just reminded me that I need to watch that too.
Just binge watch.
That might be the next thing I watch too. I've been sitting here, I'm like, what do I watch? That's just my issue right now. It's just like, what do I watch and what do I play? So, God, thanks for reminding me on that one. Shit. But I mean, I feel like that's good enough for like, I mean, for anyone that like listens, they could like kind of pick out what our list is.
Yeah.
Our thoughts and everything.
Man, I think we've all talked about like 10 or 15 anime.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot I haven't talked about that I'm sad that we haven't. But
if you want, I was going to say
something
we could do like a genre
thing
thing too. I think we might, because the more Luke mentioned it, I was like, oh, there is anime I wanted to talk about, but like in situations, right? It's like, oh, here's what I recommend.
Like if you really like this kind of stuff, watch this.
Yeah, I feel like anime is so deep now, or there's so much of it now where you can't just be like anime is its own like niche, like its own like little, like it's now as wide and varied as like anything. So
so that was my plan. I was like, we do this episode just to get our anime list out, but like probably delve into it more later.
I'm
so
down.
I'm proud of you. You have a list.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, good enough. But other than that, I think that's all I got. Unless you guys want to add anything else.
Yeah. I shouldn't add anything else because then I'm just going to start rattling off things.
We stopped the
on
conversation
list,
now.
so.
Yes,
I just want to make sure.
We'll
We'll continue this conversation next. I won't say next time.
Some other time
on Dragon Ball Z.
Damn it!
Got it in there.
Got it in there. But
I hate you. I hate all of you.
What a fuck? Nah. All right, but yeah, thanks for listening in. You can tweet us or just message us any topic suggestions or questions at SuperBossPod. That's our Twitter. Or even email us at superbossfeedback@gmail.com. You can follow us subscribe on YouTube. You could ask us anything on Facebook, but otherwise, just let us know how we're doing. And thanks again for tuning in.
Yep.
Much appreciated.
We appreciate you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.